extracurricular activities. He has been an outstanding role model for our student body. As a member of our track and cross-country teams, he was our captain and the school record holder in the 800 meter, the 1600 meter, the 3200 meter, and 5K. He's a National Merit Commended Scholar, an academic All-State member. Tate stands tall in many of his accomplishments. He will be furthering his academic and running careers at the University of Texas in Austin. Please help me at this time welcome to the podium Mr. Tate Paulson, the valedictorian for the class of 2017.
All right, so first thing, before I start this, Mr. Eaton, can I get a stool up here real quick? I just don't really want to stand with this whole thing, so. Just tap the handle. Any other Mr. Williams or anything like that? I'm not quite sure how I got here. I turned in a few pages of homework, I aced a few calculus tests, and then all of a sudden, Mr. Eaton, the legend himself, came to me and told me that I have to speak in front of this entire audience. And I was a bit unprepared, I'm gonna be honest. Not because I was valedictorian and it was some huge shock to me, but because they really were serious. I really do have to speak to everybody. There's this huge gravity that comes with this speech that says, this is the biggest moment of your life. And up until this point, it probably is. And so, like any high school student, I decided to Google valedictorian speech examples. Google had already gotten me this far, and so surely it could get me just a little bit farther. So it didn't help at all. I didn't use any of the examples, and now I sit here just as unprepared as I was before I started, but with a little more of an idea of how prepared I was supposed to be. I moved to Montgomery upon finishing my 2014, I moved to Montgomery upon finishing my freshman year of high school in June 2014. I thought I was going to be a sophomore in high school with no friends, nothing to do, and a lot more of the angst that comes with being a high school student. But the 3 years since the move have managed to answer all of those uncertainties with new friends and new hobbies and newfound confidence. After moving on from Dallas and getting over to Montgomery, there have been a few things that caught my attention. The grass is a little bit taller, the places are more spread out, and the people are a whole lot nicer. And that last one has been important to me, as I got to live the most important years of my life developing in a place where the people around me were supportive and truly cared for my well-being. I've had teachers like Ms. Shamgar and Ms. Burks, who were so passionate about their subjects that even their students were passionate too. I've had coaches like Mr. Edwards, whose efforts to bring out the best in me made my best the only thing I was willing to bring out. And I've even had supporters and fans like Dr. Tomini, who for some reason was willing to drive to track meets that I myself didn't even want to be at. I figured that my position to give a speech to so many people who are still so uncertain about the future of their lives meant that eventually I should say something substantial. So this is the part where I'm going to do that. Many times when people learned that I was the top of the 2017 class, they gave me funny looks. I was frequently told things like, you're not nerdy enough, which I'm plenty nerdy, or you don't quite look the type. But who says I can't wear ripped jeans or get haircuts that don't quite scream, I do my homework, or be more interested in guitar and music than formula sheets? There's no such thing as the stereotypical valedictorian, much like there isn't such thing as a stereotypical anything. I've come to learn upon many separate moments of clarity that the people I've met are never like what I've expected them to be. Some of the school administration and teachers are among the most endearing people I've ever met, some of the popular kids the most genuine, some of the geeks the most social, and some of the athletes the most intelligent. And it's very telling of the world today that any of those things may have come off as a surprise. When I learned I was going to be giving this speech, I realized I had an important opportunity to show the world a real example of someone who didn't quite fit the precedent set before them. I don't appear quite as smart as I should. I don't appear quite as stressed as I should, and I certainly appear just as overly confident as I shouldn't. All right, so this is the part where there was supposed to be a guitar behind me, and Mr. Eaton did not bring it out here. But I'm good. This is supposed to be cool, and it's just not cool anymore.
It is cool.
I spend more time with the guitar in my hands than with my head in a textbook. And is that normal? Probably not. But that's the point. There is no normal. They love to tell you to stay inside the lines, but there's always something better on the other side. Everyone in this room has their own talents, their own abilities, quirks, and specialties, and every one of those talents, abilities, quirks, and specialties is important. We, the graduating class of 2017, are the future of the world. We represent what's to come, and we are the reason it comes. We don't get to sit here waiting on the world to change, and that would be irresponsible. Instead, we are the future, and the future is full of pushing boundaries and shattering barriers. Do we need more engineers? Yes, we do. Do we need more teachers? Of course we do. And do we need more accountants and business people and doctors? Absolutely. But we need those professions to be filled by people who are willing to break out of the mold that's been set before them. We need to become the embodiment of the phrase, expect the unexpected. We are all unique and special, and it's important for the sake of progress that all of our achievements are also. There are times when I have to ask myself, was all this really worth it? Were the calls from my alarm clock telling me to come back to bed really more important in the upcoming school day? And sure, half of my heart would tell me that staying in bed was absolutely the right choice, while the other gave a half-hearted attempt at appearing responsible. But in the end, it was totally worth it. No matter how many nights I stayed up a bit too late studying for a test, or how many friends I requested notes from after sleeping in class, Miss C, if you're here, I am deeply sorry. I would be just fine in the end. Life has a way of getting you the things just when you need them. And so regardless of how much you fit your image, how much your image fits you, how stressed you are for that dream university, your work, and the inevitable approach of adulthood, it's vital to remember that the heart of life is good. Oh, just 1 second, hold on. Pain throws your heart to the ground, and love turns the whole thing around. No, it won't all go the way it should, but I know the heart of life is good, and I know the heart of life is good. Welcome.
What is he doing?
Thank you, guys. That was great. I would like to introduce a special group of students who